A smart home should save time, right? So why do I babysit it all day? Lights, doorbell, cameras, always acting up. Today I'm testing 3 Aqara devices announced at CES 2026, and I'm gonna show you the one change that made my home feel calmer. Okay, so Aqara sent me 3 products to test at home, and I'm really thankful because I get to try this stuff before it's everywhere. This is the Aqara Doorbell Camera G400, the Aqara Camera Hub G350, and the Aqara Multi-Sensor FP300. And the real goal is simple: less junk alerts, better video, and lights that don't bully me in my own living room. Let me hit you with 3 quick specs, but in real-life words. The G400 is a wired doorbell that can run on regular low-voltage power or PoE, which is power through the network cable. And that means it can stay on all day without babysitting batteries. It shoots 2K video with a tall head-to-toe view, about 165 degrees, so you don't see a face, you also see what's happening down by the package area. The G350 is an indoor camera with 2 lenses, one wide 4K lens and one tele lens. So when you zoom in, it's not just a blurry mess. And the FP300 is a battery-powered presence sensor that uses both PIR and 60 GHz wave radar. And it can speak Zigbee or Thread. Plus, it reads light, temperature, and humidity. So your automations can react to real life, not just something moved once. Alright, unboxing. The G400 box feels like serious security, not like a toy. And right away you can tell this is not a tiny battery doorbell type. It's built to be wired, and it feels like it. In the box you get the doorbell, the mounting stuff, and the basics you need to get it on the wall and point it right. The finish looks clean, and the lens area looks tough, like it's made for rain and cold days. Now the G350, this one is the cute but scary camera. Cute because it looks friendly on a shelf, scary because it can spin around and follow things like it's alive, but in a nice way. In the box you've got the camera, power cable, and the usual mounting bits. The build feels solid and the motor movement feels smooth, not crunchy at all. And then the FP300. This is the smallest box and the sensor is tiny. I love that because it means you can place it without it screaming "I'm a sensor" in your room. You get the sensor and the mounting pieces. And the best part, you don't need an outlet because it runs on batteries. Now let's do ports and specs, but super simple. The G400 is wired only, so it's meant for people who want that always on feel. If you can run a PoE cable, that's one cable for power and data, and it's clean. If you can't, it can also use a low voltage power like 8 to 24 volts, so you still don't deal with charging. It has an IP rating for weather, so it's built to live outside, and it has smart detection, like person in motion, so you can get alerts that make sense. The G350 is an indoor PTZ camera, which just means it can pan and tilt to look around. In real life, that means fewer blind spots. The big deal here is the dual lens setup, wide lens for the whole room, tele lens for details. And it's built around the new Matter for Cameras world with Matter 1.5, so it should fit better with more smart home systems. The FP300 is my automation brain piece. It uses PIR for motion and wave radar for presence. So if you walk into a room, it knows. And if you sit still like a rock during a movie, it still knows. It also reads light level, temperature, and humidity. So your smart home can make choices like it's dark, turn on a lamp, or it's hot, help me out. Okay, setup time. This is usually the part where I am confused because smart stuff can turn into a 45-minute fight. But with these 3, it was more like, oh, that's it? And I like that. For the Aqara Doorbell Camera G400, the big thing is it's wired, so there's no battery babysitting. I picked up my power method, and this thing can run PoE, which is power through the network cable, or it can run on a low voltage power supply from 8 to 24 volts AC or DC. Once it had power, I opened the Aqara Home app, tapped the little plus, added the G400, and followed the prompts until I saw the live view. Then I did the normal real-life stuff. I named it front door, turned on the alerts I actually care about, and made sure the camera angle really shows head to toe so I'm not missing packages down low. Next, the Aqara Camera Hub G350. This setup feels like a normal indoor camera setup, just with extra brains. I plugged it in, opened the Aqara Home app, added the G350 and connected it to my home network. When it popped online, I picked the room, checked the picture, and then I turned on make life easier stuff like tracking. Then I played with the view because it can pan all around, and I wanted to make sure it could see the spots where cameras usually fill, like the corner near the door and the far side of the room. Now the FP300. This one was my favorite setup because it's so small and it's battery powered. I pulled the little installation tab and the light started flashing blue slowly, like okay, I'm ready. In the Aqara Home app, I added it like any other device. Here's the one choice you need to make. Do you want it to connect using Matter over Thread, or do you want Zigbee? If you go the Matter way, you need a Thread border router and a Matter controller in your smart home, which is just a fancy way of saying you need a smart home hub that speaks Thread, like a Google TV streamer. If you go Zigbee, you bind it to an Aqara hub. After it was added, I updated the firmwares of all three devices right away, because sensors always act weird when they're not updated. Then I mounted it facing the room and I gave it little time to learn the space. There's even an AI learning thing you can run, and it's basically leave the room empty for a bit so it can calm down and understand what no one is here looks like. After that, I adjusted the no presence delay so the lights don't flick off the second you stop moving, because that's the whole point of buying a presence sensor in the first place. Okay, real life testing. First, the doorbell problem that drives me crazy. A lot of doorbells either spam you all day or they miss the one thing you care about. Cars drive by, alerts, wind hits a plant alert, but the delivery guy drops a box low right under the camera view and the doorbell is like, who's there? So for the G400, I tested the one thing I want most. Can it show head to toe? And can it keep the front door covered like a real security camera? And yeah, the tall view helped a lot. I could see a person's face and I could still see what's happening near the ground. That's a big deal for packages and also for kids, pets, or anything low in frame. Now, second fail moment, night shots. Some cameras look fine in the day, then at night, they turn into a blurry gray soup. So I tested at night and the detail stayed good. Not movie quality, but enough that I can see what's going on without guessing. Next, the indoor camera fill moment. Most cameras zoom by making pixels bigger. So when you zoom in to see what your kid is holding, or if your pet is chewing something, it turns into a blocky mess. With the G350, the second lens is the point. When I zoomed in across the room, I got way more detail than I expect from a normal digital zoom. And the pan and tilt also means I can cover more of the room without needing two cameras. Now the smart light fill moment. This is personal. I sit down, I watch a movie, I don't move much, and my lights go off like they got bored of me. So I put the FP300 in a spot where it can see the couch area. Then I tried to trick it. I sat still, I didn't wave my arms, I didn't go please sensor notice me dance, and it still kept me as present. That one thing alone can save your automations, because the best smart home is the one you forget about. Also, the extra sensors are not just extra words on the box. Light sensing is huge, because you can make rules that only turn on lights when it's actually dark. Temperature and humidity are also nice because you can kick on a fan, a heater, or something else at the exact right time, not when you remember. What ties these three together is Aqara's whole spatial intelligence idea for 2026, which is basically your home noticing what's really happening, not guessing. The G400 is your front door watch guy with always-on power, 2K head-to-toe view, and options like PoE or low voltage, so it can keep working without you charging anything. The G350 is the indoor eyes with a wide 4K view, a zoom lens for details, and smart tracking so it can follow action instead of staring at a wall. And the FP300 is the Are You Actually Here sensor, using PIR plus MM-Wave so the lights don't just switch off because you sat down like a statue. And it also reads light, temp, and humidity so your automations can feel way more real. And here's the part that actually makes this whole thing make sense to me. When you pick one brand for most of your smart home, everything just clicks faster. One app, one style of setup, and your devices speak the same language without you doing that annoying mix and match puzzle. But the cool part is you're not trapped into one little bubble either, because Aqara is going hard on Matter, which is basically the universal translator for smart homes. So you can run it in Aqara's home and still connect it to big ecosystems like Apple Home, Google Home, Alexa, SmartThings, and even Home Assistant depending on your hub and setup. That's when a system feels less like random gadgets and more like one team working together. Alright, what do I like? I like that the G400 is built for people who want a real wired doorbell setup. No battery stress, no charging, just it's there and it works. That's the kind of boring I love. I like that the G350 is not just a camera, it's a camera that can actually see details when you zoom and also look around the room. So it's one camera doing more work, and that saves money and time. And I like that the FP300 makes automations feel human. It's not only motion, it's presence. So your home stops doing silly stuff just because you sat still for 30 seconds. Now, things to think about. The G400 being wired is a win for always on, but it also means you need a plan for power. If you're renting or you can't run a cable, that can be a deal breaker, so check your setup first. And with any presence sensor, placement matters. If you point it weird, you get weird. Once you aim it right, it becomes magic. But yeah, you might need a few minutes to dial it in. Now, price and where to buy. For the G400 and the G350, pricing and full availability can still depend on your country, so I'm not going to throw out any random numbers and regret it. The FP300 is already orderable, so that one is the easiest to grab first. I'll put the USA and EU links in the description so you can click the right one without doing any detective work. My verdict is pretty simple. This setup is worth it if you want your smart home to chill out and behave. The G400 makes sense if you want a real wired front door setup that just stays on all day, no charging, no drama. The G350 makes sense if you want that one indoor camera that can watch the whole room and still zoom in on details without turning into a pixel soup. And the FP300 is the one I'd call Fix My Automations upgrade, because it stops that stupid moment where you just sit still and the lights thinks you left the planet or something. But I'd skip this whole trio if you just want the cheapest basics and you don't care about smart home rules. Because the real win here is the system working better together, not just one random gadget. So links are in the description if you want to learn more or pick one up. But tell me this, would you rather upgrade the front door first, the dual lens camera first, or the sensor first? Let me know in the comment section below. My name is Zino, thanks for watching, and remember, make your home smart, not annoying. I'm out.